PCS just keeps the hits coming. What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, reacting to yet another statue reveal and pre-order. Another one from PCS. Man, they are killing it right now. PCS used to be known for doing Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat characters back in the day. The company was sold and it switched hands a few years ago. Since then, they've been acquiring more and more licenses, but still sticking to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat as well. We've talked about their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We talked about Eon Flux, their Marvel Gamerverse. They're doing 1/3 scale, quarter scale, 1/6 scale characters, and now they're doing a quarter scale Killer Instinct line. One of the most popular video games from the 90s, came out right after Mortal Kombat and took the world by storm with its 3D artwork, with its combo system, with the loud booming soundtrack that it had, and who could forget that announcer?
Supreme victory!
What's also cool to see is that the original PCS, they would release Player 1 and Player 2 versions of the character, and the new PCS has kept that tradition alive, particularly with their Street Fighter V line, and now with Killer Instinct. They didn't release just Player 1 and Player 2, but they also have a third gold version. Now, many hardcore collectors will say that this is the right way to release variants. Everything at once, you know what's coming, unlike some other companies who will re-release the same statue with a different paint job years later, or perhaps even in a different scale. But let's take a look at the first from their Killer Instinct line. They're starting with the cyborg or robot Fulgore. We're gonna start looking at Player 1, the collector's edition. It retails $655, pretty typical for your quarter scale piece these days. With PCS though, you do have that lower edition size, just 350 made for Player 1, and we can right away see the first picture of him. Looks just like the character from the video game with a very similar pose. I wanna say it's his victory scene, or what he does when you select the character. Here's another shot of Fulgore from the back. You can see the detail on the costume. He's got that kind of outer layer shell of armor, and then he has the movable black parts. You can see where those lines are. It almost looks like that's where he gets his articulation. We can see those energy blades that's coming off of his left hand. He's got like a tiger stripe ponytail as well. Here's another look from the front. You can see he's got those blades on both arms as his arms are outstretched, exposing his chest, showing power, almost like a gorilla. Here's another shot from the angle. Now, Sideshow site didn't credit the creators, but I'm pretty sure the Two Trick brothers were involved in the design of Fulgore. Here we can see that it does come with this swap out portrait with the lasers coming out of his eyes.
Frickin' laser beams!
I think that's a dope look. I always like when statue companies do that for their Superman pieces. If you can give me translucent resin eye beams coming out of his eyes, that's the portrait I'm going to use. Here's another angle of it, and you can see it's actually exploding outward as those beams are narrowing in. So very good job on that. It also does have a nameplate, as you can see in this picture here, on top of a desk. It's got the KI logo, Killer Instinct nameplate on the front. Fulgore sitting on top of a destroyed base. The dimensions make him 20 inches tall, 18 inches wide, and just 11 inches deep, so not too rough on your display. Here we have the in-studio shots doing a 360-degree motion. We can get an idea of what Fulgore looks like in full, no pun intended. And then they have the Player 2. Now for me, it's not much of a difference to go out and collect it. I'm sure there are some hardcore Killer Instinct fans that have to have them all, but it's just a slightly different color change, just like when you pick the same character in the game. Moving around to the back, you can see it's got more of a greenish metallic look. Same kind of black undertones though. The ponytail looks similar. The blades on his arms look the same as well. Here's a close-up of the base that we didn't really get to see last time. You can see the Killer Instinct logo, the nameplate. I could assume that some collectors are not going to be digging the nameplate, but with such a dope logo, you got to incorporate that somewhere on the piece. Also has these swap out eyes for this color scheme as well. I mean, I think it's cool that they did it. As far as the edition size, this one is limited to just 250, so it does give you more of an exclusive piece for the same price. And then going to that gold variant, limited to just 150, so that kind of does make it a little bit interesting, where you can get a quarter scale Killer Instinct Fulgore statue with just an edition size of 150 for the same $655. Now back in the day, PCS used to do a like evolution set where you can pick up all three for a slightly discounted price. I'm not really seeing that on here, but going through the pictures, it's an all gold paint job. I mean, not much more to expect. Everything from the translucent blades on his hands to the ponytail, the face, all of that is gold.
I love gold!
However, the base is exactly the same, so not sure how I feel about that. You can actually see some destroyed debris and such on the sub base, even on the back, so that's pretty cool for the detail there. That Spider-Man booth is currently in open enrollment for their March subscription box. Not only do you get over $100 in retail value, but also variants that are exclusive to this box. In March, there's an 8 Billion Genies issue 8 exclusive cover by Alex Cormack, Virgins limited to 500 copies, as well as a Ninja Funk 3 exclusive by Ivan Tao. 300 regular editions were printed, 100 foil, and 25 metal. Head on over to ThatSpidermanBooth.com and sign up for their subscription box today. It is a super cool statue, man. I'm personally not collecting quarter scale pieces. However, I do have an arcade room with the Killer Instinct arcade one up. Maybe I should do some type of floating shelves and do the Killer Instinct line over there. Maybe even pick up some Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat stuff again. It's the first time we're getting premium statues from this franchise. They didn't go all out. They kind of kept it pretty simple and tame. Not museum pose, but it's not overly elaborate. I think it's pretty cool. Doesn't blow me away, but I am more impressed of the license and actually creating these pieces. Let me know what you guys think about the Killer Instinct statues, more specifically Fulgore, in the comments down below. Appreciate you watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.
DJ Links.